Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katya. For those of you who do, welcome back. So for today's video, I decided to do something a little bit different. It's not a DIY video, but it is a video about my DIY room. I told you in my last video that I have not been so inspired to do DIYs right now. So what I thought of doing, since I'm not inspired, I thought maybe it's the room. It's actually has been a lot of the room. It makes it that when I go in my room, I'm not as inspired, and I need a change. I needed something to be a little bit more practical versus pretty. When I'd go in there, it was very overwhelming, a little bit claustrophobic in there for me. So I wanted to give my makeover a little bit of a refresh, a little revamp, organize things, make things a little bit more cleaner and less heavy in there. So it's little tweaks here and there, but that make a huge difference. I wanted it to be still aesthetically pleasing, but being more functional, more practical, having a little bit more space. And the way that I had laid out my DIY room before, if I can find a video or a picture, I'll show you. I had the DIY table in the middle with the shelves in the back, and it looked pretty. And I had ottomans as well on each side, and I loved it visually. I loved it, but it was very claustrophobic because of it. It made it that everything was all around it. I had the sewing machines and my serger on each end of it, so I only had one table. And my goal was to have different stations. So I wanted my sewing station, and then I wanted my DIY station and my packing for Kuakaya. That was super important. I do everything in one room, and I wanted things to be a little bit more organized and tidy. So I thought I would film this for you. It's not like my usual videos, but it's what it is that I'm going through right now, and I think a little refresh is exactly what I need to be re-inspired. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Enjoy. Okay, so right now I have these little drawers which are horrible to open, and it's not organized, and if I open one, all of them open. So I'm thinking of interchanging them with another thing that I end up finding. I'll show you, but I wanted to show you these first. They don't roll properly. They're not good and not practical. I mean, they're good for storage, but when I need something, it's harder to take the stuff out. So we got this going on. We have all the dried flowers. I think I'm going to keep dried flowers hanging here. This we're going to get rid of. This is all some of the fabrics that I use for Kuakaya, and also some DIYs that I've done. So this section, I'm thinking of putting the DIY table along this wall right here. Let me go further. There you go. So I'm thinking of putting the desk, taking this shelf out and then putting the desk there. I think that that's going to look better and give me more room to walk around. And then I'm thinking of putting another desk or another workstation right here for my sewing. So here's going to be my DIY and where I do the shipments and Kuakaya stuff. And then there I'm thinking of getting another work table, and then I'm putting only my sewing machines, my serger, everything. So having an L shape will create a really nice workspace, because this right now is not working. So anyway, I'm going to show you the other storage bins that I end up finding. Of course, I end up finding it at Winners. So hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I end up finding this piece of, I guess you want to call it storage bin, storage, and I found this at Winners, and I thought that it was perfect to store some of my sewing DIY stuff, and I can visually see them. So if I want, whether it's my paints or some of my fabrics, whatever it is, I think that this is much simpler than these. When you open it, everything moves. The other one opens. It's not practical at all. So I wanted something that I can visually grab and see, but yet is still looking all put together. Everything has a place. That's my goal. So I thought that these were super cute and went with the look of my DIY room. So what we're going to do next is remove all of this and then start from scratch, and then move my workstation there and see if it's even a possibility. So we're going to go ahead and take this out, and then take everything off the hooks, and then take this out as well. So let's do it. Flowers are off. I'm going to wait. I'm actually going to leave those there because I think those are going to stay there. And I emptied pretty much this shelf, and now we're going to take it out of the DIY room and probably sell it. I don't see a use for it, unless maybe I can use it as a storage shelf somewhere else, but I feel like I might go ahead and sell some of the things that I no longer need. So we're going to take this out, and then I'm going to start hanging all of the flowers so that once the flowers are there, then I can move the desk, because once the desk is there, it's going to be harder for me to put the flowers up. So yeah, let's take this shelf out and flowers up. So remove the desk on this side. Please do not mind what's on the desk. It's like a hot mess right now. And this is a mess as well. So this is some of the Koakaya stuff. It's also some of my DIY. So I'm going to get rid of I'm not going to get rid of, but I'm going to take out everything and then start fresh. So I'm thinking probably, because I tried the desk here and I don't like it. So I'm thinking maybe putting it in front of the window and then maybe putting my sewing a little bit, like a smaller desk here. I feel that this is too bulky for a work desk. I can't get my stuff that are there. So something that's thinner probably would look better here. And also, this is what I wanted to put at the end of this desk. And because of the door, it's not practical. So this is a no-go. So we're probably gonna move it in front of the window, and then I'm going to take out everything, get rid of stuff, and then go through all my bins, get rid of things that I no longer need, and do a whole refresh of this little section here. And then this light fixture you also saw, I had done a DIY. I don't want a light fixture there. I'm gonna take that one out, and I'm thinking of maybe hanging a little pendant light over the desk instead of having it in the middle here. So we're gonna try, it's trial and error. You know, I'm a visual, so I gotta try things to see. And once I try it, then I'm able to see what looks best. So anyway, let's move the desk there and then undo the shelves. Okay, so I am getting rid of the ottomans, and so I found these on Facebook Marketplace. And because my workstation, the desk, is very, I would say, industrial, I thought that an industrial chair that goes up and down would look perfect. It's made out of metal and then also wood, and there's this one here, which is a round one, and then there's the squarish one. So because I'm creating two different stations, I thought that these would look perfect. So goodbye ottomans. And the ottomans, they were taking up too much space in the DIY room that I thought 2 chairs is more than enough. A lot of times I do my DIYs standing up. But anyway, so I thought that these were super cute, and my husband doesn't like them, but I love them. I see the beauty in them. Okay, so desk is all clean and ready. I'm gonna pass a little bit of some all-purpose cleaner on it, clean the table, and then I'm gonna start putting all of my DIY stuff on there, my filming stuff. And so let's go ahead. The product that I love is the Mayors, the lavender. It smells so amazing. I know it's not a wood cleaner, but I still love using it. It's an all-purpose cleaner, and the smell is so, oh, so amazing. So we are going to go ahead and clean the top. I already passed, I love to pass, I know this is weird because I actually passed the vacuum on the top here because of the crevices here. A lot of DIY stuff gets stuck in there. So I already did that, and now I'm going to clean the top like so. Oh, the smell of this is so, oh, so fresh and clean, and I love lavender. And then we're gonna go ahead and start putting all of the stuff once this dries down. Pretty dirty. A lot of it is the stain too that comes out every time I wash this. It's wood. I don't like the wood to be shiny. Most people would use a wood cleaner, but I don't know. I'm okay with the wood being this type of wood and not being shiny. I find that when you use a wood cleaner, I feel as though it shines everything and makes things very greasy. So an all-purpose cleaner is perfect for this table. Okay, so next up, we are going to start placing all of the things that are on the floor here. That's usually my DIY stuff. Here are some of the things that I'm going to be putting up on the desk. There's all of my bits and bobs, like my paintbrushes, there's my pens, there's some of my clay things, there's little wood chips, things that I use, my little drawers and stuff. And this is actually my little filming tool that I created so that I can film my DIYs for you. I made the little stand here, and then I got this, I believe I got it maybe on Amazon, or I'm not even sure where I got it. It's been so long ago, but this is how I film for you. So you put the camera, your phone here, and then I film pointing down. So anyway, let's go ahead and start putting this on the DIY desk and start making it look pretty. So it is all done. This is my DIY Koakaya station where I do my packages and do my DIY. So I have Koakaya stuff like the stickers that go on the box. I have a lot of some of my cardboard, my Koakaya cardboard stuff here. Then I have all of my bits and bobs when it comes to DIY in the little wood chips and stuff like that. Here are all my tools, more stuff for DIY to get creative, my Koakaya little seashells, my workstation where I film for you, and then obviously my cutting if I want to cut some stuff, my little mat here if I want to cut some fabric or do some sewing projects. And then I put my new chair here. I'm obsessed with these. I'm so glad that I found both of them. I got them on Facebook Marketplace. So old school, industrial. I'm obsessed with them. I feel that it goes so perfect with this style of desk. And I love that on the other side, which is going to be the sewing station, is this one. So they're matching, but not completely matching. And I love this old school industrial chairs. I think it goes with the style of the rest of the room. So I end up putting all of my Koakaya dried flowers that I use for the packages. I tied them up with some rope like this and hung them there so I can see them so that they're more organized. This is my little sewing section, stuff that I sew, my patterns that were for Koakaya, stuff that I've sewed for you, like belts, harnesses. My patterns are there, my little work apron here, and then there's all of the dried flowers, and then little bits and bobs of dried wood and stuff like that that I use in these baskets, and I think it's perfect. It looks organized and it looks pretty at the same time. And then my mom had given me this. It says, "Je suis bordélique, je suis créative." So that means I'm not a messy person, I'm creative. And I found it so cute, so I had to put it up there. And it's definitely a representation of me because it can get pretty messy in this DIY room. But it's not being messy, it's being creative. So my mom was right on point with that one, and I had to put it there, and I thought it was so cute. Then there's my mannequin that I use. I put this little guy in the corner here. I think it fits perfectly there next to my other sewing stuff. And then I was thinking of doing is right in this section here where the desk is, I found this lamp situation. This little, I guess you want to call it a lamp. It has that little thing where you can hang it. You can pass a lampshade in it. I think I'm going to hang it as is. I don't really need a lamp since I usually have enough light. But I was thinking of putting it right there over the desk to create a little nook area and make it look, I don't know, a little warmer. I end up thrifting it, and look how pretty it is. It brings a different color in the room since there's a lot of wood. So I thought bringing in a little bit of dark can go get a little bit of also the chairs here. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting this up. I'm gonna put a little hook there and then hook it on. I have a light that I can pass through, but I don't need the light, so it's gonna be more of a decoration kind of thing. So moving on to underneath the dried flowers. Now you saw this, I showed you, I end up changing this for those plastic containers, those plastic bins. I end up selling them. They were not good to use and I wasn't able to see things. I'd have to open the drawers, and then if I'd open one drawer, then everything would fall out. So I decided to get this. I got these at Winners and they are so good. So I put all of my paints, so I see my paints. There's some of my glues, my wood stains. Then here there's some masking tape, there's my glue and my glue gun and scissors and wires and stuff that I use for DIYs, and it stores things perfectly. This was definitely worth the investment. So next I got this little guy that I showed you. I end up getting it for $4.99 and I end up staining it. However, I think I might do one more coat to really make it a little bit more darker. And I think it's so practical. I put all of my sewing stuff in there. Then there's zippers that I use for Koakaya, for the pillows. There's my measuring. And then I put some of the elastic bands and things that I use. And so these little drawers are so practical. So all of this is pretty much sewing. There's my needles in there. Yeah. What's left here is my big machine. It's a press machine. I showed you this one. I love it. It does all kinds of t-shirts. You can do handbags. I haven't found a place for it. So right now it's sitting here on the floor, but I might get another little furniture to put stuff on. And then there's here my little ironing board when I need to press things. And so that's pretty much it on this section. So I think it's looking pretty good, minus this little guy on the floor. It's looking a little messy there. But I'm so happy so far. It looks pretty and organized. And I can actually see things. So I'm a happy camper. So now here is the situation. I emptied all of my drawers, those storage bins, and there was a lady coming to get them from Facebook Marketplace. So I had to do this quick and empty it, and I put it all here. So now I have got to go through all of my DIY, from ribbons to feathers to all kinds of stuff. And now this is what's going on. Yeah, let's go through all of this. It's probably gonna take me an eternity. And let's organize this. So it is all done. I have organized every single box. Every single box has been gone through, and I got rid of stuff. It's only the things that I use. That was my goal. I wanted to be more organized and get rid of things that I no longer use, that are taking up space for nothing. So I had to go through every single bin. And anyway, so I end up going back to the store. You saw on one of my hauls, if you've been following me for a while, that I had gotten these bins. I had gotten 2 of them, but I loved them so much that I went back and got 4 more, actually 5 more, and they are so practical. They fit so much, and they look pretty too. They look like it's less messy. It looks like everything has a place. So some of my fabrics is up there, my canvases, a lot of my rolls, some bubble wrap that I use for koakaya. Here are some of the boxes, my other rolls here, and a lot of my koakaya shipping stuff is in here. So this is all koakaya section, pretty much, I would say. And then this is more of my DIY sewing section, things that I use, like bowls to use when I do some pottery stuff. There's all of my strings, yarns, ribbons. There's the black ones here. There's the ivory. There's some fabric in there like this. There's some of my patterns that I put in here, a lot of my spray paints, my goggles and masks and stuff like that. What else? Here is more of my wood stuff. So a lot of pretty much everything that is DIY that I can use for wood. So there's like little wood. There's these legs that I probably eventually will use again. The hoarder in me is keeping them because legs are actually pretty expensive. So these were actually on my ottomans. I took those off, and if ever I want to stand them or use them, I have them. So everything that's wood is pretty much in this little bin here. And then this is all of my nature stuff. So everything that's from rocks to seashells to dried flowers to feathers to all kinds of stuff. And I separated everything into clear bags like this so that I'm able to see everything, but I also don't want it to be messy. So to give you an example, so I put these like this. So these are seashells. So I'm able to see everything. There's rocks in there. Everything is either in a Ziploc or in a clear bag. So it makes things a little bit more easier for me and more organized. So this is my nature box. And then there's flowers in here. And then there's raffia and other things in there. So that's pretty much it. So this is looking pretty good. So right now we are on the other side of the room. So my desk is there, and then this is the other side. And I wanted a smaller desk so I could put my sewing machine, I could put my serger, and obviously another chair so that it's more practical. So that's what we're going for. We are going for more practical in this room. I love that that table was in the middle, but this room is way too small for that. So what we're going for is practicality. And things that are more simpler and easier, and I have a little bit more space. If I want to cut some fabric, I can cut it either there or cut it on the table. Before, everything was around the table, so everything like squished, and I was having trouble going around the table. So now I have more space and I feel like it's more open. So anyway, to get back to the table, I end up finding this beauty on Facebook Marketplace, and look at the legs. I'm obsessed. However, here is the problem. It's beautiful. It's a slab of wood, and I think it ties in with the look of this table here, but it is too short. So we are going to go to Home Depot. Right now I put some wood underneath, but I'm thinking of putting a thick cube at the bottom there, and I think it'll look like it's part of the desk and it'll give it height. So I love working on higher tables. It was a standard size desk, and for me it's not high enough. I wanted it to be a little bit more of a higher desk because sometimes I like to work standing as well. So I think adding some wood underneath, staining it maybe the same color as the top of the wood is going to tie in everything together. But I'm so obsessed with the legs. It's actually a man who handmade this, and I believe that this was part of a horse buggy that he separated in two. It was part of the wheels. I think that they were like together. That's what he was telling me, and that he separated them and welded everything. And I love the legs. It's so pretty. It's perfect. It's perfect size. I wanted something small because the door is right here, and when you come in, there's not enough space. So I had to have something smaller. Would I have liked it to be completely all along the line there? Yes, but it leaves enough room for me to put a little bin there, which is perfect because when I am cutting fabric, I need a little garbage because the fabric goes everywhere. So it's like a perfect little desk, and I could not be happier. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot, get some wood, and then install it, and it'll be perfect. Next, I'm going to take my machines, my serger, and we're going to put it on the desk, and it's going to be finished. Now, this little guy here, I think I'm gonna leave this guy on the wall. I wasn't sure. I was gonna be putting those juju hats that I showed you in my previous video, but I ended up saying that I'm going to put them on Koakaya, and I wasn't sure that they were gonna sell. And if they sold, I was happy, but yeah, they end up selling, so it's gonna be this little guy for a little while until I find the perfect artwork to go there. But I think that this is such a beautiful artwork. Right now, the reflection of the window is not showing. Let me try to go on this side. Oh, there you go. So it's like this beautiful pottery painting, and it's an actual painting. I thought it was more of a print, but I opened it and it's a hand-painted painting, and the colors went perfectly. So this is what's gonna be there for a little bit until I find another perfect wall hanging. So a sewing machine is there. Serger is there. I like putting my serger on this side because I like serging standing up. I don't know, it's a weird thing that I like to do. I don't like to be sitting when I'm serging. So serging is there, and then my sewing machine. And then I have another sewing machine, but this is my go-to one that I use. So yeah, and then I have my little sewing stuff that is in there in the little basket. I'm not sure if this is gonna stay there because I do need enough room when I'm sewing that the fabric goes, you know, somewhere. So I know it's a little bit boring. So right now I'm gonna put a little basket, but that's pretty much it. And then obviously my bin. And so that's my little sewing section. Still gotta fix those legs. But in the meantime, it gives me an idea. I can visualize and see how things are placed. And so I am actually not hating this. It's not bad. Another thing that I wanted was probably putting a rug underneath this station and a rug underneath this station, but the problem with a rug in a DIY room is that it gets so messy and there's so many things that fall on the floor that it would be so much of a hassle to always clean the carpets. So for a visual, I think carpets would look so beautiful, but for practicality, it's not practical at all. So I think I'm gonna leave it as is without the carpet. Yeah, I know. I want a carpet too. It looks drab, but I think I'm gonna keep it like this. Or maybe I can put one longer carpet in the middle to create like a little division, something that's not too much that will pile up all kinds of DIY dirt and stuff like that. I'm not sure. So for right now, I'm gonna leave it like this. So I got back from Home Depot and I ended up getting, okay, let me explain. There was not enough thick wood for what I wanted to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a big box. So I'm going to stack two of them on top of each other. And then what I'm going to do is around the box, so that it doesn't look like there's two pieces of wood, one on top of each other, I'm going to create a box all around it with all of these. So I have this, and then I have a smaller one, and I'm going to create a box, and then I'm going to stain everything, and then we can put the desk legs on top, and voila, there you go. So hopefully what I am envisioning will turn out good. And so anyway, let's get started. I think I'm going to use some wood glue. So let's get started because I want to finish this desk. So that is it. I hope you enjoy this type of video. I know it's sort of a little revamp and tidying rooms with me, and I know some of you love to see me organize things. Some of you had asked also my jewelry and maybe how I organize my closet. So that's definitely something I will do because I am very much into the cleaning out things lately. Through the years, I've accumulated a little too much, and I am trying to get rid of things to feel a little bit lighter and brighter and have a new energy in the home. So I'm very much into organizing right now. So if you want to see more videos like this, comment down below. Let me know if you are interested in even seeing this. You know that it is so important that you enjoy the content that I'm putting out there. And if you tell me, Katya, please don't. I will do that because I don't want you watching things that you are not interested in. I want you to be a part of my life, and part of it is organizing and cleaning, and not always DIYs and not always fashion. It's a mixture of all kinds of things. We have a mixture of everyday life stuff, and then there's a mixture of creative and fun things. So I want this channel to be all of that. I really do. I want everyone to get inspired, whether it be cleaning or whether it be how you dress or how you do DIYs, how you decorate your home. That is my goal. And you know, I want you to be inspired and want to watch this. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and comment down below if you have any ideas as to what you would want to see. I would love to hear your suggestions. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing week. Enjoy the beautiful weather that we're having right now. I love you so much. I will see you in my next video. Not too sure what it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise for you. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye guys.